No, I bet they had a whiteboard.
shenanigans.
It just had 5 words on it. Ready or not, ... with crossbows. And they were like, green like that shit now.
I know, just
I
the
don't even need
woman,
to see a script.
Samara Weaving, let's get her on the phone.
Exactly.
Welcome back, I'm Matt.
I'm Dan.
And today we're going to be reviewing Ready or Not.
Yeah, so Ready or Not follows the story of a girl named Grace who marries her fiancé Alex, and then on the night of the wedding they go to his family's house and a big game of hide and seek with crossbows ensues. All in all, I thought this was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a little bit of fun, wasn't it? It's a bit of a horror/action film. It's got
a bit of comedy in there as well.
Yeah, it was actually really funny. Like, much more funny than I thought it was going to be. It knows it's not a very serious film, so it allows itself to
I love when a
take
film,
the mick out of itself.
I love when a film just knows what it is and doesn't try to go super serious. Yeah, I think Samara Weaving was a really good pick to lead this film. It's the kind of role that requires a lot of an actor. There's a lot of screaming and a lot of just being in hysterics basically, and if you get that wrong, it can come across really badly. And she doesn't get it wrong; she gets it right.
It's a deer in the headlights moment. You can tell she's out of her element. She has no idea what's going on, and it is taking the piss out of the plot a little bit when all the characters basically are saying, "What are we doing?" as if this is
whose fucking idea was this?
Yeah, exactly. Just I can't believe people have decided to do this. Why? But I love films like that just completely take the piss out of what they're doing.
Yeah, but in that it was well written as well. One thing I kept thinking throughout the film was, you see a fair amount of slashes in your life, and you know the tropes as you're going through it, and this would. There was a lot of times when this could have done something really predictable and it didn't do that thing. Anytime it came to a crossroads, let's say, it would go down the most unpredictable path. Mm-hmm. And something it always did as well was it kept putting Grace in the most amount of trouble she could possibly be in. There was never really a time for her to settle down. There was always something worse happening to her in the next scene, which it's just good writing, isn't it? Yeah,
well, she was constantly on the move, and they did a good job in making what was an extended game of hide and seek fully investing.
Yeah.
Because there's always something going on, one problem after the other, after the other, after the other, and it's never the same thing. It doesn't repeat itself. It's always something new, a new take on something, or a different problem that she has to overcome, and I found it very engrossing.
I could be wrong, but I think this was shot on handheld camera.
It looked it in certain moments.
Yeah, and it's going to be pretty low budget, so it probably was. And I think that helped the immersion a lot. This is one of the few films that I don't mind being handheld.
Yeah. It allows you to feel like you're part of the moment as well. It's very chaotic. When shit starts to hit the fan, the camera work definitely encapsulates that.
Yeah, I thought it did. I thought it really helped to just put you in that situation.
Some of the effects were really gory as well, almost to the level of Haunt. Not quite.
There's a bit in the film where someone is close to a nail, like a screw, but the screw is the right way up, in a bit of wood. And I thought if it was upside down and the pointy bit was at the top, it would have made for so much more tension, because just the idea of that makes me cringe way much more. The whole aesthetic of this film I quite liked. I loved how it was all big and grand, and the set design and the costume, and just something. I thought there was something really cool about the main character wearing her bridal dress throughout. Yeah, there was a point where I thought she was going to go get changed and then they'd get into the film stuff, but she kept the bridal dress so much I liked, and the bridal dress kind of evolves over the course of the film. It's worth noting as well that this film, it's not really to be taken too literally. It is a pretty contrived premise. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of best view, leave logic at the door. Don't go in being well, that couldn't happen. If you start looking at it like that, you're not going to enjoy it. Just go in, turn your brain off, and just have fun with it. You can look at it like that, or you can look at it as a kind of allegory. I don't really want to say what for, in case it gives anything away. But me and Matt had two completely different readings of what it was trying to kind of convey. We both thought it was kind of a metaphor for two separate things. So there's definitely different things you can take from this as well, if you choose to look at it as a big metaphor. But yeah, don't go into it thinking too logically, because it won't. That's not going to be the best.
No, for the most part, this is just a bit of silly fun.
Yeah.
It's a perfect film, I'd say, to go watch around Halloween time. It's gory, it's a bit silly, and you can have a good time without it getting all too serious.
Yeah, you can live vicariously through people who can actually access rich people and hurt them.
Yeah.
I did have a few flaws with it. One flaw was, like, they state very early on that if they haven't killed the bride by dawn, then they'll all die. And I feel like you don't really get a sense of the passage of time. Like, you never really know how long's left. So it would be nice to have some kind of indicator of, like, okay, like, we're getting closer to it now, we're getting even closer to it, like, it's, you know, kind of ramp up the tension that way. And
yeah, it didn't really ramp up, did it?
No.
But that's because it was all go from the get.
True, but it just would be nice to know how long had passed and how long was left, you know, just so it would help.
That's something I did like about this film. It didn't, like, beat around the bush. It got straight into it. You knew, like, what was about to happen, and then from, like, I swear, not even 20 minutes in, it all started, like, to go down.
Yeah, there wasn't too much setup, was there?
No.
This film does utilise jump scares a bit, and from what I can remember, I don't think any of them were really well done. I think most of them were just, like, really easy, cheap kind of jump scares, so I could have done without those. But
they weren't very effective, and it was the typical build-up to one where you knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
I think there was maybe one instance that actually caught me off guard, but not to the point where I shat my pants. Yeah. Just like, oh.
I also felt like we didn't really know, or maybe it's just me being stupid, but I didn't really know who all the family were. Like, right at the end, towards the end, when one of the characters calls another character mum, I'm like, well, that was their mum the whole time? Like, I never even knew. Like, did you know who everyone was? Because I didn't.
They didn't really explain everyone's relationships. They explained the key few, but to, like, say, the extended family, you don't really get to know them that much. They're just cannon fodder.
Yeah.
But you get a sense of, like, who of them are based on their actions, and, you know, you have, like, the lazy, funny guy, you have the crackhead.
The crackhead.
The film can be a little too silly at times. Like, there's some moments of plot convenience that I just thought, typical, you know, help advance the plot. Like, in real scenarios, that probably would not be the case. But in a way, it manages to cancel that out by having some genuinely shocking moments. Like, there's a couple of twists in this that I genuinely didn't think would happen.
Yeah, same. Yeah, it was good in how unpredictable it was.
Yeah, it was very good at defying my expectations.
Obviously, this is a spoiler-free review, so we won't get into it too much, but the last minute of this film I thought was really cool. Like, there was a really good song choice and some really good imagery, and it just leaves you with, like, a good taste in your mouth. If
you're just looking for a bit of fun, then I'd say go see this film. It's not too long, it's under the 2-hour mark, so, you know, you dip in, get your toes wet with blood, and have a jolly good time. So those are our thoughts on Ready or Not. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and subscribe to the channel. We'll be bringing more content to you very shortly. Make sure you like our social media links.
Thanks for watching this video, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.